The passage states, much unfortunate confusion is caused by failure to distinguish what can be called Einsteinian religion from supernatural religion. Einstein sometimes invoked the name of God, and he is not the only atheistic scientist to do so. Inviting misunderstanding by supernaturalists eager to misunderstand and claim so illustrious a thinker as their own. Now we have a causality relation. There is confusion created. This is created because of the failure to distinguish between these two different forms of religion, Einsteinian religion and supernatural religion. And this is created by further the reason behind this, the failure to distinguish, is given by the next statement. Einstein himself sometimes invoked the name of God. Note that he is not the only atheistic scientist to do so. Inviting misunderstanding by supernaturalists. Supernaturalists are people who belong to the second group, this group, not the Einsteinian one. Supernaturalists eager to misunderstand and claim so illustrious a thinker. This talks about Einstein, the illustrious thinker. Note the word illustrious. So illustrious a thinker as their own. What the passage means to say is that Einstein is not among the supernaturalists. Supernaturalists, eager to misunderstand, they claim that Einstein belongs to their group, but that is not actually true. It is probable that because Einstein is an illustrious thinker, they would want to associate his name with their group and their faith. But that is actually not true, as the author defines. So looking at the options, much unfortunate confusion is created by the inability to distinguish between Einsteinian and supernatural religion. Like other scientists, Einstein sometimes invoked God, causing eager supernaturalists to misunderstand such an eminent thinker to be one of their own. Everything else was very balanced. The problem was created in this phrase, eager supernaturalists. This is different from supernaturalists eager to misunderstand. Now, some might still be confused. Why? What is the difference between these two? If we look at it this way, eager supernaturalists, the aspect of eagerness applies to supernaturalists all over. The supernaturalists are eager, while here the eagerness applies to making the mistake, the misunderstanding of claiming that Einstein is a person belonging to the supernaturalist group. So here the eagerness applies to only the misunderstanding. It is almost as if they are willingly making the mistake because Einstein is such an illustrious thinker. But here they are eager, mistake or otherwise. So there is a definite difference between the two. Let us see if we can find a better option, in which case we might eliminate option A. Looking at B, much unfortunate confusion is created by the inability to distinguish between Einsteinian and supernatural religion. Like other scientists, Einstein sometimes invoked God, causing supernaturalists to misunderstand such an eminent thinker to be one of their own. We see that not only does this cover all the major aspects, confusion, reason for confusion, distinguishing between this and this form of religion, Einstein, other scientists invoking God, causing supernaturalists to misunderstand and think that an eminent thinker such as Einstein is one of their own. Not only that, this also eliminates the mistake, the modifier mistake made by A. So, in comparison, B is a much better choice. So, B can be qualified, and also we can eliminate A. Let us see if we have something even better. C states, much unfortunate confusion is created by the failure to distinguish between Einsteinian and supernatural religion. Einstein sometimes invoked God, causing supernaturalists eager to misunderstand. To believe such an illustrious thinker to be one of their own. Everything else is perfectly all right, but this misses out, it omits, ignores the aspect of other scientists. Now, in brackets, the mention of other scientists, atheistic scientists, would not be that much of a problem. But Einsteinian religion could also be called the atheistic scientific religion. So it is an important aspect of the passage, that which is missing in option C. It only mentions Einstein, not the others. In comparison, yet again, B does a better job. So we can eliminate option C as well. Moving on to D, unfortunately, much confusion is created by the failure to distinguish. Now, if we compare B and D, we'll realize that they are very close, almost identical. The only difference is this part. And here also, there's a marked error. We see in the passage, there is much unfortunate confusion. In option B, there is much unfortunate confusion. In option D, there is unfortunately much confusion. Now, in order to understand, we will not blindly keep this as a system that whenever we see something reflected from the passage, that has to mean that this must be the right answer. But we will understand that unfortunately much confusion, it distorts the premise here slightly. Much unfortunate confusion means the confusion is unfortunate. Unfortunately much confusion means it is unfortunate that confusion is created. It removes the impact of the unfortunate nature of the confusion, even though very slight, but it is still a distortion. And as I said, in comparison, B does a much better job. So we can eliminate option D as well. And thus we get our final answer. Out of very close choices, we get our final answer as option B.